Hey guys, it's Jimmy from A Kid's Opinion, and I know it's been a long time since I posted a video, an actual video, um, and I did say that I was going to give a Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings review sometime soon. I said that about a week ago, so it wasn't too soon, I'm sorry about that, but, now the video is out, so you can hear my thoughts on it. So first of all, I do want to say that this movie was a surprise. The first trailer didn't really sell me on it, but I heard good things about it and I got excited for the movie. And I went to go see it and let's talk about it. So let's start with the good. The action was really good. I liked how it was choreographed. I often like to read bad reviews of movies I like or movies I don't like. Um, but I looked at bad reviews for this, and they said that the action was like choreographed terribly. There was one scene that I didn't really like the style of, but that's kind of just me. I'll get to that later. But I thought the action was really good. The bus fight scene was really good. Um, just all the even the smaller martial arts fights. Like I do like the spectacle, but the beginning of the bus fights when he's like flipping around, punching people, using his jacket, that was really cool. And even though the bus scene, some people did say was too over the top, I didn't find it to be too over the top. And kind of going into what I'm going to get to in a little bit, the comedy. So the comedy I found was funny. I was afraid this movie was going to be too jokey. Some people thought it was too jokey. They've really left the, oh yes, this is a spoiler review, just want to say. They left the comedy mainly to Aquafina's character, which is good. If they had the Mandarin cracking jokes, Shang-Chi, his sister, they were like, Shang-Chi, he was a little quirky, but not as quirky as Aquafina. If in the final battle they started cracking jokes, or if at any point his sister started cracking cringy jokes, which she didn't do at all, um, that I would not have liked that. Most of these fights I did find were really good, and most of the comedy I found good. And there were some parts where it fit in a little bit of the MCU formula, but for the most part, I think it was different. It did seem like the director had a little bit more freedom with this. It was a little bit different from MCU movies, and I felt like Trevor Slattery was in this, for instance, and I will get to him in a sec, but he's not a serious character, so it's not weird for him to be having comedy. He did have one joke, that was in the final battle. I was watching a review on this movie, um, and the person I was watching said that, like, the joke was kind of like ease the tension too much. That's not really the right word, but it came in the final battle, and it kind of made you feel like the final battle wasn't as like intense anymore. I didn't feel that, so there's something that happens in the final battle where Shang-Chi's dad sacrifices himself for Shang-Chi. So it's Shang-Chi. I'm just gonna say Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi can get away, escape. Um, if Trevor Slattery's joke, which he made a joke, if that had happened after the sacrifice, it would have been bad. But I didn't feel like it was bad. It didn't take away too much for me. The villain was good. The Mandarin was a really good villain. He had good motivations. I think he's one of the best MCU villains. Definitely top 10. I'm probably going to be doing a villain ranking for MCU. I will try to do that coming up soon. Yes. The emotion was good. This movie wasn't too emotional, but it was still sad at times. What kind of worked with that was the flashbacks, which I will get to in a sec. But it wasn't like, yeah, like the comedy when it was in it, it didn't really break the emotional scenes for me. There's some stuff going on with this family drama that was done very well, and I think they did a great job with putting this in with putting the family drama into the movie. And then also the mystic part of the movie with like mystery, and all this, like these soul suckers come out. I wasn't too big on the CGI, even though it was part of it was colorful, like the dragon, the protector in this was colorful. It also looked gray somehow, which is kind of funny. Wasn't too big on that, but the mystic stuff with like the creatures and like the The like different weapons they have, the Legend of the Ten Rings. There wasn't too much of a Legend of the Ten Rings as I wanted there to be, but all the stuff with the Mystic Village, that stuff was really good. The Ten Rings, they didn't explore as much as I wanted to, mainly because they're leaving that to the sequel, which kind of makes me a little sad. But it does make me very excited for the sequel. The flashbacks. So I think it's like three big movies we've had right now in like the last 2 months, 3 months that have like done flashbacks. F9, Black Widow, and now Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings have had like flashbacks about like our main characters. And I feel like Shang-Chi does it the best. I really like the Black Widow flashback a lot more than I like the Fast and Furious 9 flashback. I wasn't huge on that one. But the Shang-Chi flashbacks, they had multiple throughout it. I didn't feel like it took away from the story very much. In fact, it was revealing more as it kept going on, like a little bit of how the Mandarin came to be like this. When you first see him, it's when he was still like the evil man before he met his wife and ended up falling in love. That was really good. And then, yeah, all of this stuff, how it's almost piecing together, and by the end, you feel bad for the Mandarin, you feel bad for Shang-Chi, you feel bad for her sister, and you're mad at them at the same time, but you feel for them, and yeah, you get angry at some of the stuff they do. It's really good how everything like pieces together through the flashbacks. And now to Trevor Slattery. I liked him in this. When I first saw him, I thought it was funny. I didn't feel like it took too much away. It worked for me. I was happy he stayed in. They didn't use him too much towards the end, which was good. I am happy that they didn't use him, like... I'm happy that he wasn't really in the final battle fighting. That would have been stupid. I feel like they used him the right amount. And this is a good way to kind of end the character. He didn't die or anything. I just don't find a way, except if he's going to be a one-off. Like, he's going to make a little tiny cameo in the next Shang-Chi. Like, they're going to go to Trevor's place for protection. That, I don't feel like he's really going to be in any MCU movies anymore. So this was a good way to kind of continue the character and kind of redeem. I wasn't mad at the whole Mandarin thing in the third one because I was too young to really know who the Mandarin was when I first saw the movie. But I feel like for comic book fans, this may have redeemed Trevor Slattery. If I was mad about the whole thing in the first place, about him being the fake Mandarin in Iron Man 3. And finally, for good, is the post-credit scenes. The first one was really good. It was kind of his introduction to the Avengers. What I think that they're going to try to do, I feel like Captain Marvel was much more upbeat in Shang-Chi, in the post-credit scene, which kind of makes me laugh, because a lot of people I thought that she was a little bit too boring and bland in the movie she was in. So I feel like they're going to make her, more jokey, which kind of makes me afraid for the Marvels. Like, you don't have to go in a super comedy territory with her. They weren't really doing that in part of the post-credit scene she was in. I'm interested to see if Bruce Banner wasn't Professor Hulk anymore. So maybe he's found a way to switch back. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Wong was really good in this. Not only in the post-credit scene, but the whole Hotel California running gag, it paid off in that first post-credit scene. Then there is the second post-credit scene, which I don't think it's going to go very far. It just shows that his sister is in charge, is now ruling the Ten Rings instead of dissolving it. I think the sequel is going to be about the origin of the Ten Rings. It's going to get into more mystic stuff. So I don't think there's going to be very much with the sister. I'm interested in where this is going to go, but I don't think it's going to be too big. I feel like the first post-credit scene is more important than the second one. Now on to the comedy. What I mean by this is, yeah, it wasn't too jokey, but on the other hand, some of Awkwafina's stuff, I didn't find it as cringy as other people did, but maybe can we get a Marvel movie that isn't just full of the jokes? Like, Eternals, I thought was going to be serious. Then I saw the new trailer for that, and it's having jokes. I hope it doesn't have too many jokes. like Aquafina was just in there, like for she did do other things, but she was playing Aquafina. She was being Aquafina. She wasn't playing Katie. Aquafina was like being her quirky self, like the character that she's gonna play probably in everything she's in. Um, Still, she's very charismatic and quirky in the role as Katie. I do like that, and she does get a little bit in on the action in the end. I did feel that was unnecessary. So yeah, her character was just in there for the jokes, and it wasn't just in there for the jokes, but the main reason she was in there was for comic relief. I am happy that they kept the comedy to her, and not had Shang-Chi and the Mandarin and the sister make a bunch of jokes. Now onto the plot holes. I keep trying to redeem this one in my head. I mean, there's really plot hole. I bet there are other ones that I didn't notice, but I can't take away from the movie for that. Yeah, really, the one plot hole in here that I noticed was, it seems like they're kind of trying to kill Shang-Chi. But the Mandarin's, like, people seems like they're trying to kill Shang-Chi. Why would the Mandarin do that? He did say that there's no way they would be able to kill you. But he hasn't fought in a while. There's no way that the Mandarin, he's a pretty smart guy even though he's lured and tricked by the Ten Rings. There's no way that he would think that he would want his people to go out and try to kill him. Like, I keep trying to redeem that in my head, like, they were never actually trying to kill him. But that's not really it. It does kind of make it seem like they were fighting to kill him a few times. So I'm still trying to redeem that plot hole in my head, but it's not working. And it's not my type of movie. I'm sorry. Like, there's still a good movie. Martial arts isn't really my type of movie. Like, the first fight scene in this movie, and, like, the first one with the Mandarin and Shang-Chi's mom, I didn't like the style of it. I think it's called Chi. I want to say that's what it's called. Chi. It's like some special type of martial arts thing they use. There was a scene later on with the ant in Shang-Chi, which I feel like did a little bit better with the whole side, with this whole Chi. I'm going to call it Chi because I think that's what it's called. Chi side to it, rather than this first scene. And it was a little bit boring at times, mainly because it's a martial arts movie. And there's and it's also like martial arts, but what's the other word? It gets into a little bit of like lore. It's not like your typical MCU movie. So because it's a martial arts movie, it makes it different from my type of movie. Still a really, really good movie, but not a really, really good movie. Still a very good movie, but it's not my type of movie, and that held it back for me. But maybe that should have been in the mixed, but this is my review, so yeah, I'm putting it in the bad. And my final thing I have to say about this movie is a bad thing, yes. The 10 Rings didn't really seem like the same 10 Rings that were in the first Iron Man. I don't really see how they connected. They just didn't seem like the same organization. I just feel like there should have been like some more connection. Maybe a mention to them kidnapping Iron Man in the first one, or that 10 Rings in Iron Man wasn't the real 10 Rings, like how it was in Iron Man 3. Just a little bit of something that would show us that they were more connected or they were less connected. I'm just a little bit confused at how these two 10 Rings are the same organizations, because they just seem so different. Yeah, so overall, I'll give this movie an 8.7 out of 10. Definitely go watch it. I would say it's better than Black Widow. Even though I might have given Black Widow a better ranking, yes, better film than Black Widow. One of my probably top 10 favorite movies of the year so far. I will probably do some sort of what if thing. I wanted to review, this about what I'm going to do in the future. I wanted to do something about the Suicide Squad, more rankings and stuff. That might happen. I don't know. I'm going to try to do all 29 MCU projects ranked after What If concludes. So, yes, please like and subscribe. Comment in the comment section. Give me suggestions on how to improve my channel. Please give me recommendations on movies and TV shows that talk about, review, rank. I'm Jimmy from A Kid's Opinion, and be good people.